How did you know about my ex?
I know a great many things about you, Donald.
Right. It's the core of your business, information. And misinformation. I don't know how you did it, Reddington. Forsaking the flag, abandoning your country.
We become who we are. You can't judge a book by its cover. But you can by its first few chapters, and most certainly by its last.
So what's it all about then? The blacklist? Revenge?
Oh, revenge is too easy, and over so quickly. I would hope for more than that.
I'm not gonna live through this.
I think we will.
How?
Have you ever sailed across an ocean, Donald?
No.
On a sailboat surrounded by sea with no land in sight, without even the possibility of sighting land for days to come. To stand at the helm of your destiny. I want that one more time. I want to be in the Piazza del Campo in Siena, to feel the surge as 10 racehorses go thundering by. I want another meal in Paris, at Lampossy and the Place des Vosges. I want another bottle of wine, and then another. I want the warmth of a woman and a cool set of sheets. One more night of jazz at the Vanguard. I want to stand on summits and smoke Cubans and feel the sun on my face for as long as I can. Walk on the wall again. Climb the tower, ride the river, stare at the frescoes. I want to sit in the garden and read one more good book. Most of all, I want to sleep. I want to sleep like I slept when I was a boy. Give me that. Just one time. That's why I won't allow that punk out there to get the best of me. Let alone the last of me.
Kill him.
I find chrome to be a bit ostentatious.
I'm sorry, Mr. DeMarcus. The truth is, I'm the one who misled you.
You know, when I was 15, I had a summer job installing carpets for Albert Cotagolian on Lake Charlevoix. Horrible job. Hot, indoors, forced to listen to The Gambler on 8-track while the rest of the world was at the beach. 3 days into the job, I knew I had to quit. I asked my father for advice. All he wanted to know was whether I'd given my word to Mr. Cotagolian that I'd work the summer. I told him I had. My father suggested I stick it out. I'd given my word. Worst 8 weeks of my life. Until the last day. Mr. Cotagolian shows up at the job site, pulls me aside, and tells me that in 27 years, no kid has ever made it through the summer, gives me a bonus, $40. the most valuable money I've ever made. A priceless lesson about life. Value loyalty above all else. Oh, I buried the lead. Turns out the Indonesian government has chosen to contract our company to run the port of Tangkulo. The Deputy Minister of Transportation was not a fan. Fortunately, he was also gravely ill in desperate need of a heart transplant. He died this morning. Apparently, the arrangements he'd made to secure a donor heart didn't pan out. The new Deputy Minister sees things our way. Lucky, I guess.
I don't believe luck had anything to do with it.
You're right. Luck rarely has anything to do with it.
Honestly, how many times have we discussed this?
What?
You know I don't like being around the bloody
Oh.
I need to be allowed to leave the room before the blood. You know I don't have a strong constitution.
Give him his seat. He's gonna faint.
Oh my.
A farmer comes home one day to find that everything that gives meaning to his life is gone. Crops are burned, animals slaughtered, bodies and broken pieces of his life strewn about, everything that he loved taken from him, his children. One can only imagine the pit of despair, the hours of Job-like lamentations, the burden of existence. He makes a promise to himself in those dark hours. A life's work erupts from his knotted mind. Years go by. His suffering becomes complicated. One day he stops. The farmer who is no longer a farmer sees the wreckage he's left in his wake. It is now he who burns. It is he who slaughters. And he knows in his heart he must pay. Doesn't he, Stanley?
No, Fred. He couldn't help it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe he could change. Maybe he's not damaged beyond repair. Maybe he could make amends to all those that he's hurt so terribly. Or maybe not.
Where's Cornish?
We've had a little incident. Agent Keene needs medical attention.
The Syrians aren't getting the effigy back. It's gone. I've already sold it to the Russians.
I ran out of gas.
Huh?
I was so excited to get home, I didn't even bother to look. My head was just... ran out of gas.
What are you talking about?
It was Christmas Eve. I pulled off to the side of the road. It seemed like it had been snowing for days. No traffic, no cars to come help. Just me and a car full of gifts. It was more than 20 years ago. I must have walked 4 miles, 5 maybe. It was so still. Just cold and white. whole time, all I could think about was them and our house. The warm light in the windows, the smoke from the chimney. The sound of my daughter at the piano. The smell of the tree, the fire, oyster stew on the stove. I was so upset to think that I'd ruined Christmas for them. Being late, leaving the gifts in the car. But the closer I got, the more I realized how funny the whole thing was. How much they loved the story, Daddy running out of gas. How every Christmas they get such joy from telling that story at my expense. And then finally, I got there. I walked through the door. And it was just blood. All I saw was blood. All there was blood. I can still smell the nape of her neck. Feel her little fingers on my cheek. Whisper in my ear. That's why I didn't show up in Florence. That's why I haven't showed up in a lot of places over the years.
بسرعة بدو آخر صوت التحقيق.
No, don't. Please. Please. No, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please come back. I'll tell you what you want to know. Now, I gave you what you wanted. Where is he?
We have the location of the effigy.
You son of...
Yes.
You'll never get to it in time. Damn you, Reddington! Damn you, Raymond! You let me out of here right now, you son of a bitch!
I'll drive. I'm not leaving without you.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Those men are after me. It's my problem, not yours.
You made it my problem the moment you walked into the ocean.
I didn't ask for your help. Let me go.
No.
Why not? What difference does it make to you?
Have you ever seen the aftermath of a suicide bombing?
We're wasting time.
I have. June 29th, 2003. I was meeting two associates at the Marouche restaurant in Tel Aviv. As my car was pulling off, a 20-year-old Palestinian named Ghazi Safar entered the restaurant and detonated a vest wired with C4. The shockwave knocked me flat, blew out my eardrums. I couldn't hear. The smoke, it was like being underwater. I went inside, a nightmare. Blood, parts of people. You could tell where Safar was standing when the vest blew. It was like a perfect circle of death. There was almost nothing left of the people closest to him. 17 dead, 46 injured, blown to pieces. The closer they were to the bomber, the more horrific the effect. That's every suicide. Every single one. An act of terror perpetrated against everyone who's ever known you, everyone who's ever loved you, the people closest to you, the ones who cherish you, are the ones who suffer the most pain, the most damage. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to people who love you?
I have no choice.
There's always a choice.
Is there? That little girl. The one you told me about? The one whose father you spared? What would you do if you knew that as long as you drew breath, as long as you continued to exist, her life would be in danger? She would be hunted, and she would be killed. What would you do?
What would you do?
My child is being raised by someone else. I am her mother, and I am deaf to her. So this is what I'm doing. I never wanted this.
I know.
They go.
I can't.
Come closer, Aram.
There's nobody down there.
Not at the moment.
So then, why did you ask me to meet you at an empty grave?
There are foundational elements in our lives. People that form the brick and mortar of who we are. People that are so deeply embedded, we take their existence for granted until suddenly they're not there and we collapse into rubble. I've stood over the open grave of someone I've loved too often. Once for my mother, and then the others. I needed to recall this feeling because I'd be staring at another body right now if not for you, Aram. It wasn't weakness that prevented you from watching your friend die today. It was hope. And thank heavens you were in a hopeful mood. You saved Elizabeth. I'm forever in your debt. Now gather your team. It's time to take down the Cabal.
We're having a philosophical conversation, an exchange of ideas, so I'm gonna try to contain my disappointment.
Tell me I'm wrong.
There's no honor among thieves. You know that saying? I despise that saying. Because the fact is, in this life of ours, there are lines that even criminals should not cross. A standard of conduct even for those who earn their livelihood by breaking the law. Do I use my leverage with law enforcement to hold those who violate that standard accountable? Yes, I do. Those individuals have forfeited the right to operate freely, and every single one of them is lucky they are held to account by others instead of being held to account by me. Sven, my associates make money, a lot of it. My rising tide has been lifting all boats for decades, and as long as that is the fact, how I do what I do, who I leverage and why is nobody's business but my own. You're wondering why I'm telling you this.
And what happens now?
Well, perhaps the why will answer the what. You men are mercenaries, hired hands. This was never your fight. Were you paid in full? Because now your employer is dead, and you're available for hire once again.
You're not serious.
Quiet. So what are you suggesting?
I'm offering. You need work. I have work.
Enough!
You can live to fight another battle, another day. And when that battle comes, you can fight it with me.
Mr. Reddington, we've got movement.
Time's up. Sven, in or out?
In.
Good. And there's only one matter left to resolve. What to do with you, Jiangwei. You were never just a hired hand. You were Wu Jing's closest confederate, killer, confidant. Innocent people died because of you. Generally, I prefer to do these things myself, but I only have 13 rounds left in my Browning. I hate to waste even one of them on a piece of trash like you. And as it happens, I just hired an army. Imagine you dying at the hands of the very man you hired to eliminate me. It's just, the hell with it.
In Mexico, there are these fish that have colonized the freshwater caves along Sierra del Abra. They were lost. They found themselves living in complete darkness. But they didn't die. Instead, they thrived. They adapted. They lost their pigmentation, their sight, eventually even their eyes. With survival, they became hideous. I've rarely thought about what I once was. But I wonder if a ray of light were to make it into the cave, would I be able to see it? Or feel it? Would I gravitate to its warmth? And if I did, would I become less hideous? I didn't want you to come here. Follow me here. Because the truth is, if I don't stop Braxton, what he'll discover is that he can't get the fulcrum without you.
Donald, I want you to know that I do understand how you feel.
Mr. Reddington.
There is nothing that can take the pain away. But eventually you will find a way to live with it. There will be nightmares. And every day when you wake up, it will be the first thing you think about. Until one day, it will be the second thing. I found peace and tranquility and a real feeling of quiet. Yet I abandoned it out of this compulsion for chaos and peril. I had found light. Yet I'm compelled by the dark. It animates me. So much so that I drag others into it. Others that I care desperately about. So what is the purpose? If I'm willing to risk everything good in my life, to even defend risking it as necessary or just, when I know the result will only be a deepening darkness.
Tell me, where is this coming from right now? Why now?
I recently discovered that I was betrayed by my oldest and closest friend. I'm apprehensive about the depth and breadth of my anger.